Hi, I'm Cram, and today we're taking a look at ElectroCulture. Now, this is my garden, which I've sort of started to develop earlier this year. So you've got this photo that I took in June 1st, showing quite a sparse garden. I hadn't added any ElectroCulture antennas at this point in time, so this is just the bare garden. So what I did do was add one antenna about 6 foot tall on a bamboo with some copper wire, one on each side, on the left, at the back, and on the right side. So I made a video, does ElectroCulture work, which you can now view here. So does ElectroCulture work? Well, we've got a one antenna here with a copper wire anti-clockwise from the bottom on one side of the garden and another on the other side of the garden. So you can look at the sparse growth between the plants growing here. If you go over to the other side, nearer to the antenna, you can see all this lovely clover. It's just growing everywhere, and it's really lush and all around this antenna. ElectroCulture works. Okay, so very quick scan of the garden, not giving it a full kind of view. So this morning I have gone around the garden with a similar sort of looking at the ground with all the ElectroCulture that's been in there for since June the 1st. That video was filmed on July the 18th, so almost a month ago. So since that was filmed, a month later, only 1 month later, obviously in the middle of the summer, 1 month later, you can see now the difference between that and what it is today. Just quite a stark difference. With regards to the actual garden, how it looks, since taking the photo yesterday, I have added a couple more stuff that was potted that was out of view, out of shot. But yeah, this is the before and after from June the 1st to August the 15th, which was yesterday. So, my opinion, ElectroCulture, does it work? I'm not really into hocus pocus. It was a friend that recommended it to me, said to me, Rob, try and put these antennas, look it up, see what it does. It's an ancient technique, which I believe is more to do with the fact that you're adding copper into the soil. It's not necessarily to do with all these kind of electromagnetic waves in the atmosphere and nature's sort of thing, which people can sort of make believe or believe that that's what's causing it. I think it's to do with the fact that you're adding copper into the soil, and that's enriching the soil in a certain way and affecting the growth of the plants. Before I started the garden, there was tons of weeds everywhere. It was just completely overrun with weeds, and I had to dig those all out and replace them with some nice foliage producing plants, just to give it some coverage in its first sort of year. So I think the ElectroCulture will have helped, but not in the way that you're led to believe that it's this is my opinion, obviously. Other people will believe it's to do with the atmosphere and Mother Nature's way of conducting itself into your garden via these antennas. But I do think it's helped enrich the soil. It's a very sort of dry, quite well draining soil. Well, you can see the images yourself. The garden has come along quite well in just a few months with very little expense, not too much effort. And yeah, it's a north facing garden, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. So yeah, does ElectroCulture work? Yes, it does, I think. Even though I don't have any sort of comparison to say, well, maybe the soil was already enriched enough that the results would be the same if I didn't put the antennas in. I don't have a direct comparison, but in terms of actual growth, it does look like the soil is pretty decent having those in. So it's not causing them any harm, that's for sure. And I think that's the main takeaway, considering how the garden was before. Just been barren for a long time. It's enriched it more, and I mean, you can tell by the big palm tree that the soil's pretty good. but that's grown well, and the ivy and elderberry at the back of the garden. But yeah, okay, I'm waffling now. So yeah, does ElectroCulture work? In my opinion, yes.